Hello and welcome into the SorareData Gameweek 414 preview. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Join as always, for these at least. Actually, I can't say always because literally Harry filled in last week. But Quinny is here to look at a game week, one of the smallest game weeks that I can remember in terms of actual number of matches. We are into an international break that for a midweek has very little. What I thought was particularly strange about this midweek is that the South America qualifiers start off with a bang, and all of the players we really want to play travel so far to get to these matches. And I think that's something that we'll talk about a little bit. Quinny, how much do you prepare for international game weeks before international game weeks?
Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero. It's a total Brucey bonus. It's funny, but because see, when I'm kind of at this point of the season, I'm kind of trying to have a look at how I've been doing over this last little period, as it were, and one thing I've really felt, especially when that monthly competition was on, for me individually, is not having certain midweek goalkeepers and not having any international goalkeepers. It's or I've got one or two, but it's they're, you barely count on them, kind of thing,
Yep.
It makes it can make a really big difference to your overall month, even just one of them coming off, because some of the matchups, as I've heard you speak about on this channel tons, are so lopsided you can see it coming a mile off if you've got anywhere near the ability to just lean into it a bit and get that Christian Eriksen when you win the Bruno Fernandes and you're talking to your good pal Quinny about what you should be doing with it.
I'm glad you actually brought Eriksen up, because we were talking about him in the Sorare Scandinavia Discord, because they obviously are very big into the Denmark team and whatnot. And I was saying that it feels like 70% of his value is only for internationals. Like, he barely plays for United when everybody's fit, and even when they have a few injuries, he's not totally locked in. But the way he's totally locked in for Denmark, and then they had great matchups in September. They've got really good ones this upcoming break. And it just felt like there's a possibility that after this break, his price could just crash, because the Denmark doesn't play San Marino again. They played him last month and then this month. And it just feels like if you're buying Christian Eriksen, it's almost like you're just buying him for international games, which kind of applies to Neymar too, as who's actually playing this midweek, or his team is playing, his country's playing. Who knows what we'll have. And so it's one of those weird things that I think the month-long competition, the previous one that included the internationals, all of a sudden people were like, oh, I really need to pay attention to these. And I'll bring up my good friend Erwan, who's SRR1, another SorareData employee, I think finished second in the All-Star Rare Pro competition, month-long competition, but 2 of his 4 scores were over 500 points because of internationals. He almost won it because of his international players. And
fantastic.
We don't have the next month-long one will not include these international games, but I do wonder if people started to kind of not artificially inflate, but we're just putting more value on international play, because you're you never know when there could be a month-long, and if you have somebody who crushes, and it's almost ignoring that they still have All-Star, even though we don't have a month-long, there's still weekly month-longs, still weekly All-Star that these guys could dominate in. And so even though the break, it's only 4 game weeks, a couple months of the year, and yet I think people continue to really focus on it. And that doesn't even count the fact that we have Euros in the summer. And then those players will really take off later.
I think that's part of it. Is I don't think buying international players is something you necessarily set out to do for the most part. But I do think once you've been in the game long enough, you become aware of who you've got. That, oh, he always plays, or I've got this guy. And I think like I say, I've got 1 or 2 rare international keepers, so I can get a couple of teams out here and have a little bit of fun with it once in a while. But I can't play every week, and it depends who's playing. Sometimes friendlies come into the mixture as well, because the international calendar is so slim, so sometimes you've not got an SO5 game. which kind of goes against it if you're splitting it against multi-nations, which for the most part people do because it's so hard to stack a team in that sense. So I think it's one of those ones because like I've done it before where you do try and rush a strategy together and see sometimes when it is coming in on these slender game weeks, like if you look at if you've got Spain, any of these countries that have got a decent game this midweek, you could have your field with it, but there's not that many prizes. There's not as much money on offer, etc. So you've got to like really pick your battle. So like totally setting your stall out for this window, like it really needs to come off for it to be completely worth it. And that kind of immediate time scale that building the stack for would require. But with the Eriksen as an example, because you do know maybe like the penalty taker for the country or the captain or, whatever it might be, like you say, sometimes just rolling them between tournaments and qualifiers, because even if like the rest of this qualification cycle pans out, say they get to the main tournament and even they suck and Eriksen sucks. Well, in the next qualification cycle, there's still going to be a pot 3 nation, or they're still going to play Nations League, and they're still going to be like playing a team or two that aren't that great. So it's not like, I think with any of the international kind of sprinkles that you get from any of your players, or even if you try and take advantage of somebody like an Eriksen, then you're kind of buying into the fact of going multi, you're going more than just this cycle with it.
Yep.
Because playing cycle to cycle with internationals is so peaky, you will just be throwing money away.
It does feel like that sometimes. And I just wanted to bring up here, for those listening at least, the prizes for this midweek. All we have are basically the global competition. We have All-Star, Cap 220, 240, 270, and under 23. That's it. That's all we have for this midweek. And 41 prizes in U23 Rare, 126 in All-Star Rare, 27 in All-Star Rare Pro. I'm guessing also that like the top prizes aren't even that great. First place, you can still win a star, I guess, in All-Star Rare Pro. And then it looks like 3 tier ones? Yeah. 4 tier ones, excuse me. Second, third, fourth. Oh, no, fifth is not. Yeah, just 3. Sorry. And then, All-Star Rare. Surely you get a star there too as well. Okay. Oh, wait, did I click the same thing?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have stars up available. That's always nice. I imagine, let's see, the All-Star Super Rare. Yeah, Tier 2 Super Rare and a Tier 2 Rare is the top. So, I guess I won't win that one this week. I'll let someone else win that one. Before we dive into the games, thank you to everybody for joining us live. SR Monkey, actually first in. Should be a short one, you're right. Fripp, hello. Hoodwink, good to see you. Charlie, Kev Hurd, and then the classic fist bumps coming in for Quinny. Tommy Turtle, first time watching live, so thanks for coming in. Alex Wilson, I have Mealing this game week. That's good, right? I mean, he's playing, so that's good. This September to November period of international football is terrible, and also terrible for SO5. I mean, the Denmark scores from last international break didn't look so bad to myself, so it's not bad. And then John Andrews on the first day of the international break asking if the international break is over yet. That it does feel like that. Like if you don't have lineups, it does feel just like an eternity. And yeah. Tommy said I had a couple of top players with a good matchup, so I bought a couple Czech players and Modric, all pretty cheap. Yeah, I mean, I think you can find some like cheap alternatives. Like Modric is not playing every game for Real Madrid, so he is kind of, his price is depressed a little bit. It's not pushed up like Eriksen's. So Neymar seems to really like to play for Brazil. Doesn't love to play for Al Hilal, but loves to play for Brazil. They are home against Venezuela. That's the top favorite of the week. Argentina home against Paraguay. Messi came off the bench. Was that yesterday? This past weekend. Sorry, this past weekend was a bit of a blur for me. But this past weekend, he came off the bench. My theory was that he was going to come off the bench strictly so he could go play for Argentina. Like, I expect that he's going to play as much as he possibly can for them. And then we've got Norway away to, was that Cyprus? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Spain home against Scotland, and then Poland away to the Faroe Islands. Those are your top favorites. You don't see Kosovo on a high favored list, but when you play away to Andorra, that's when you sneak in and lets you allow to finish ahead of Croatia against Turkey. Again, like Quinny, I don't think anybody should go out and buy players for this game week. Usually buying players for a game week is a bad idea. This one feels like a particularly bad one, but can you even, I mean, only the biggest of galleries really have the opportunity to be like, I'm not going to play whoever this week because I have other players, but it is fundamentally just a play who you've got game week, right?
Completely, yeah. Because there's not that many teams, but they're quite spread around. There's only like 2 in South America, or 2 matches in South America, and then the ones that are in Europe, that's not, it's only really Spain that's the dominant country, and then like the other countries that are there, like Norway, Poland, Croatia, Colombia, even Czech Republic. There's probably one of those cards in every Sorare gallery, like across the the platform. Just random guys that play for teams and stuff. So it does feel like a kind of hodgepodge. The best kind of team I'm getting out this week is a 4-manner, which probably isn't really out of character for me in internationals for the most part, to be honest with you. So I think it is just one of those ones. You just throw out as many ones as you can, try and get some coins. If you've not got the goalkeepers, try and get some XP, and forget about it. Just get to, back onto SorareData for some lineup builder action for the most part, and that's mainly the international break for me. But I do see Boca Juniors there and in our club.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, Boca and Belgrano, I guess, from Argentina. Neither of those are, and I guess Deportes Tolima from, is that Peru? Primera A, and Deportivo Cali. So like those are the 4 non-qualifiers, but none of them are licensed, which is why, or at least currently licensed. Boca used to be and is not now. So that's why I think we don't have the America competition open. But Boca haven't been great. I'm not sure anybody's taking their Boca players this game week and beating the guys up here. But I mean, the trickiest part for really any international break, but I feel like particularly for a first game that's in the midweek, no less, is the lineups. There's going to be a lot of do your own research on this one, because any kind of predicted lineup, I feel like you could look for 10 different ones and you can find 10 different ones. And you just hope that the guys who kind of always play end up playing.
That's I definitely think for Croatia, Argentina, and Brazil in particular, like their squads are so busy. Like there's a lot going on in a lot of different ways. So because it's such a quick turnaround, they'll be like getting together, getting in their camp, having a training session or 2, maybe review the opponent for a bit, and then it's probably going to be get ready at Samora, kind of thing.
Yeah,
let's go for it. So who's ready, who's not? And sometimes best laid plans kind of go out on that one, and then preparations will be for the next match, maybe at the weekend or next midweek, depending on how they all roll out. But I think for like the Poland, the Kosovos, Ecuador, Scotland, certainly, like the squads are quite shallow, and there is kind of distinct best 11s. So I think if you've as soon as I seen that page, the first thing I thought is if you've got a Muric, then this is what you've been holding on to him for this whole time, because under 23 is now your oyster. If you can get a fight, it's basically just going to be the Muric owners that'll be fighting for that this week. So, maybe that takes some of the cards away from some of the caps or whatever. But
is he still under 23?
Oh no, maybe not. Actually, maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
don't remember.
No, I think you're right. I think
he's not been playing, so he kind of.
I'm living in the past.
Because of that,
he's
out now.
Ignore me. The under 23 keeper then.
So the easiest way that I look for it is on the pick scores. And actually, before I get into the pick scores,
sure. Sorry.
Some people will notice that some of the matchup indicator numbers and even the opponent's scores look absurdly high or absurdly low, and it's basically just because of a small sample size. And so, Andorra is probably quite bad. Kosovo is heavily favored away, but giving up like 106 and 108 to 4th, I wouldn't look too heavily on those. And so just something to consider, because that does kind of play into the pick scores. But the reason I bring this up is because the easiest way, for me at least, to figure out who the starting U23 goalies are is just to use the pick scores and see who might be starting. And who is this?
The Andorra keeper.
The Andorra keeper, right. So he's the only
15 rares. Oofed. 15 rares, that's it. So that's it. How many under 23 rewards
I was just about to, so let's see. 41.
Wow.
First, so it almost seems like if you have a Iker Alvarez, let's see how many people, like if I want to look and see that he only has like 2 actual owners,
up.
one on the market. Let's see. Anyone we know here? Man,
Gargi will have one, maybe.
Yeah, it's Bouncy says everyone with one will win a reward. Let's see. Mike Basson said Carl Hein for Estonia. Does Estonia play this game week?
Maybe the weekend. I don't know about that,
but
I didn't see Estonia either.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's see. Yeah, that's this weekend. Home against Azerbaijan. Oh, it could be Carl Hein weekend. But yeah, so midweek we've got 1. Man.
Decent. Triple A. Triple A rated. Imagine he scores 0 points as well.
0, yeah.
Imagine. That'd be so funny.
But yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you have an Iker Alvarez, you should probably. So that's actually probably the worst part. That if you have one, but you don't have.
What was the limited
forward?
Sorry to talk over you there, but how many limiteds did they have again? And how many limited cards is there?
Oh, of Alvarez?
Yeah. I think it was I don't think it was that many. So it was like 15 rares, wasn't it? So was it? Yeah, 127.
127 and the 190 prizes in U23 limited.
Nice.
Man. That is nice. Let's see here. Where were we? This is the midweek. Skozer said, what's Runnerson at Iceland look like for the next week with 2 easy games scoring? So I have a Runnerson super rare, and I had a weird situation last game week where I had my super rare. Like, I didn't have any other super rares that were playing. So I was like left with do I not play him, or do I play him with, 1 super rare pro lineup? Or it was not as beneficial as I was.
Some dilemma.
Let's see. Top forwards for U23: Haaland, Alvarez, Jorgen Larsson, Rodrigo, and Christian. How is Christian Cáceres still U23?
Wow. That is impressive.
I feel like he's been U23 for 10 years.
Yeah. That's incredible. I feel kind of the same about Ferran Torres. I think he's still U23 as well. Also, I'm enjoying him still being U23, but some people think he's going to start as well for Spain. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. What is this one? Gonzalo Pla. Oh, is that one? No.
He's got a few sporting cards, I think. Not that many, but always get some Vallecano cards.
Oh, for Ecuador. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's slim pickings. Yeah, exactly, Mike. This is crazy. Bouncy said rewards over international breaks are so ass, but apparently U23 is like on steroids. We've got tons of I wonder what the crossover between Iker Alvarez and Erling Haaland owners are. You can put out both. Let's see. There's some banger midfielders though.
Oh yeah, Sperstian. Oh, it's against Latvia. That could be good.
Yep. Enzo probably plays.
Yeah, you think so, don't you?
That's a pretty tough matchup, actually. But
if Argentina being world champions, you've got to think every home game is just going to be an absolute party at the moment, So I think Enzo plays in that team for as long as he's walking and fit.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And Cáceres pops up here because he has midfielder and forward cards.
Cheeky.
Let's see. Kevin Hearn said, I just spent 22 quid on 2 rares for Cap 240 for Game Week 415, which is this weekend. Worthwhile investment if I hit the threshold. I suppose so.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it works that way. And then, let's see. Any good defenders?
There's a few guys there.
It's 2 guys I'd never heard of. And then
the top 2 are definitely not A-listers, are they?
Let's see.
I've never heard of that guy. That's a new one on me, man.
I mean, if you've never heard of it, then surely is that
it's like 3 rares? Wow.
Jersey? And he now plays for Genoa.
He's not rotten.
Had a great game against Roma.
Yeah.
Wow. Belarus away and Andorra home over this game week. That's not bad. And who is this other guy? Leo. I mean, we would just say Ostegard, but surely that's not how you really say it.
Yeah, that O and that A just let you know it's going to be difficult. He's bossing, eh? I think he must be coming in for Kim. I've seen Napoli play once or twice. The guy's never really caught my eye, to be honest with you, but scores are quality.
The scores are catching eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Really good. Big centre back for Norway.
Trying to make us feel better with a Zellerion.
Can we see the Norway predicted team on SorareData? Because I think Norway have, like, if that guy's playing centre back, we've got Haaland as well. Odegaard are probably in the team. Norway might be. You know, the problem with Haaland, see when he came out, I remember doing the unique auction and stuff on this channel. We're talking about like, oh yeah, it's Norway internationally. Like when you compare him maybe to like the Mbappes and some of the other big uniques at the time, or even just players on the platform in general. But if Norway can start qualifying for tournaments, you know, if you've got Haaland up front, you've always got a shot. Yeah. So they reckon he's going to play in midfield. Do you think there's that a 5 in the back?
Well, Mealing usually play. I don't think Mealing plays center back for Norway.
Yeah. He's left back, wasn't
he? Yeah, surely. Yeah. This is still this setup is still very much a work in progress since people don't select it like specific positions. So there is that. But Bouncy says they play 3 in the back. And Charlie said this guy's on loan from Brighton, or at least he was last season.
Oh wow. Brighton just find him, don't they? Did you see the guy that scored against Liverpool? Mate, I was sitting here, I was like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. Who's this guy?
Who is this guy? Yeah.
What's going on here? It just doesn't feel real. Brighton just keep pulling him out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Ostergaard maybe another one.
But, it does look like a pretty good U23 week. Is Odegaard still U23?
Oh, surely not.
No.
Oh, just
what do you mean surely not? This is his first year out.
Feels like he's been around for he is the guy that's been around forever, but he's like legit been around forever. So,
I mean, all 3 of these guys are.
That's going to be a great AA game for Norway because, like, see the Denmark games that you were highlighting before. It's just games where they're playing against teams that forfeit possession, and like this Cyprus team, like if they're anything to go by on Cyprus club teams, like that's the way they're going to probably set out. Is just defend and try and counter attack with 1 or 2 guys. So that Norway squad could just be scooping up AA for 90 minutes. Yeah. Especially they're playing 3 at the back.
Sora wanted us to bring, or Sora Josh said that Strandberg guy is decent, and yeah, not bad.
Tidy. I'm hoping Christopher Ayer plays for Norway, to be quite honest. I'm surprised he wasn't in that predicted 11. But hey ho. Yeah, no chance. People think. Look well.
Mike wanted everyone to be wary because Norway have Spain in their second match, and so they could kind of, I don't think they rest guys, but they could be not as...
Minute manage, yeah.
Yeah.
Let Haaland get 60 minutes and a goal and take him off.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, that's about as good as you can get and as bad as you can get in one game week.
Yeah.
Let's see. Benny says Northern Ireland, a decent shout this game week. I didn't see them on the list, but that doesn't mean that they... where are we here? Did I lose our matchup tab? Looks like I did.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere. I didn't know Northern Ireland had a game week this one either.
Yeah, I didn't think they were here. Yeah, I don't see them here. Maybe they play this weekend.
Maybe it's a friendly.
Oh, could be. You're right.
Double check your listings.
Well, I remember let's see here. They play Saturday against San Marino. So not this game week. But I think it was Sweden play Belgium and then someone else, but the someone else is a friendly. So if you have any, I think Robin Olsen is their goal. I think it was Robin Olsen. So yeah, it's like it's about as bad as a game week as you can get also. Belgium and then having only one, that be the only game that's scored. So, but yeah, like again, Buhari said, is the Switzerland game canceled?
I know there is games. I know there is Israel's games are cancelled certainly, and I'm not too sure if that's around that. So
that's who they were supposed to play. Yes, Switzerland, Israel. So yeah, that one is postponed. And then Switzerland play the following weekend against Belarus. So yes, no Switzerland. I don't know if that was supposed to be this weekend or this midweek anyway. Yeah, David Taylor said Wales had Gibraltar in the Euro qualifiers, been looking for a Dan James all week, and then found out it's a friendly. Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. Got to be careful.
Yeah. Done that a few times. Maybe not specifically with international friendlies, but sometimes you think you're onto something and then you've just not done that last step, that last click, that last... and then you're like, oh, crap. You've maybe gone too late before you buy it or something. Sorare as well. A lot of people are mentioning him. He's been good for internationals recently, hasn't he?
He's like, I don't want to shout out our good friend Harry Trades, but he absolutely blasted Wales. And I think that was this 100. Yeah. Yeah, he's very good for them. And it's all one of those that like this, he shouldn't be good. Like he shouldn't have 26.5 AA against Croatia. Like Armenia is not that good. Like not good enough for him to be able to put that up, and yet he did. It looks like Turkey held him in check, but let's see. They have Latvia, so they only play once. Like this is their only covered match of the break, so they probably have a friendly after that. And then they get Wales at home in November, in the November break, and Croatia. That's back-to-back game weeks, actually. Yes, Armenia have been solid. He said Turkey equalized in the last few minutes. So let's see. Yeah, 88.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, in fact. That'd have been a famous... Because Turkey, I think, were heavily stacked in that game week. I think people were like, oh, Turkey at home to Armenia. And I think that was maybe one of the international ones for that window, if memory serves.
Sub goal, too. Speaking of sub goals, do you think everyone is just going all in on Scott McTominay now after this weekend?
Well,
clearly we saw limited price spike. Please.
Big McSauce is just loving it now, isn't he? He's a funny one, you know, because I've never been hugely impressed by him, but for Scotland, he's one of those ones where you think, oh, surely if he had a really big guy that was good at like tackling and winning the ball, and you just put him in attack, then he could just win the ball and do defensive stuff, but in the final third. And he's just a guy that kind of does that for Scotland. He's just like a defensive player we put up front and just make him be defensive midfielder up front, you know, kind of thing. And it just works out brilliantly for him. He's huge as well. So I think a lot of those goals, not all of them, but a lot of them are from corners and stuff. And, you know, so you kind of know what you're getting with him. We spoke last time about repeatable situations, and scoring headers from corners, if you're a tall guy, is, you know, generally once they've done it for a season or two, you know, they've got that in their locker, and teams will obviously try and use them for it. So, and yeah, even though we're playing against Spain, he scored 2 against them last time. So
yeah,
you can't rule out he's decent in the game. You might not be able to expect double decisives, but maybe he pulls in a 55 worst case. Maybe he does drop in a wee 70.
I'm not sure this is the Spain team that they're going to see.
I'm not sure it's going to be that different, to be honest. Oh, the defense will be different, to be honest with you. Yeah, the defense will be different, but when I looked at the predicted lineup on SorareData, I think it's, you know, the midfield is still Rodri, it's still Marino. Up front, it's maybe that Lamal, and then like Morata, you know. So it's not like, you know, I don't really know who they're like. When I look at their team, yeah, I think it's kind of as good as it gets, but so Barca reliant. You know, they want to have Pedris and Gavis and all these guys, but they're all overplayed and injured anyway. Let's get Gavi there too. Yeah, Nico Williams. So like, it's a good team they've got for Spain. But look, La Normand, Aymeric Laporte is playing in Saudi Arabia as well.
Yep.
So like, you know, I'm not going to rule us out just yet. We've got Jack Hendry in defence. He's also playing in Saudi Arabia, so we've got one each there. But like, they've got McTominay. Yeah, the way that'll actually be is McTominay will be where McGregor is, and you know, McGregor will be deeper. That'll be the way it actually plays out on the pitch. And then McTominay and McGinn just go in defensive midfields up on the defence. So yeah, it could be McTominay. Like, is kind of coming into the Eriksen bracket for me.
Yep.
You know, I think McGinn's in that. McGinn's Mr. Scotland as well. He's fantastic for us, SO5 wise. So yeah, I like McTominay. No limited spike there, but which is you maybe get that after a result against Spain.
After the result in Spain, is that what you said?
Maybe again, yeah. If he does that again, then surely people will bite in on it.
Yep. Yeah, Man United just hoovering up all the players who are good internationally and then just not play them when
That's it.
when they're at home. Let's see here. This was the U23. This is All-Star Limited. I mean, surely Neymar's the best play of the game week.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the only thing holding possibility that he won't start. Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of people put this in before he came back, or they really don't think he'll start. I'm assuming that we get some indication before the game week closes in 22 hours and 59 minutes. And so we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the Brazil guys up front, Haaland.
So Argentina's other fixture in this window is away to Peru. And if memory serves me right, in the last international window, Argentina were at home to somebody and then they were away to Bolivia. And yes. Messi said, I'm going to get on this plane, lads. I'm going to go on this one. Catch you to the next one. See you later. And he went back.
No. He went to the match.
Oh, did he?
He did. He was not in the squad, but he went to the match. I remember the story because they were talking about how dedicated he was to the team, because he still traveled with them to Bolivia, which is like miles above sea level. And but yeah, did not play. And then it turned out he was injured enough to miss a few MLS games. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think we're at the point where anyone is like clear of qualifying so that we're going to see rotation, because the games don't matter. Like, these still should matter enough. So yeah, if you have Neymar, if you kept holding your Neymars, now's the week. And we don't get any of Neymar, ridiculous things from people like Nanzo playing him in Champion Asia instead of All-Star.
Neymar is like Mr. International. Like you mentioned it earlier, like how good he is for Brazil, but his numbers are like incredible. They've always been incredible since he burst onto the scene. You know, like when he was like 17, 18, and he was getting caps, he was scoring like on his debut and scoring 2s and 3s. He's just like, it's just always been something that's went for him. He's leaned into it. And these qualifiers, like Brazil, particularly at home, they're just set up to destroy people. Like, look at that. It's just,
this is 21 starts in his Sorare time for Argentina. Brazil. 21 starts, 14 goals, and 14 assists with, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 100s. Jesus.
Yeah. Mr. Brazil. 5 100s in a row.
5 100s in a row. Let's see. That was against Bolivia, away to Peru, or away to Paraguay and Venezuela.
Yeah. And they're at home to Venezuela this time. So we got 100 against them last time in a 3-0 win. They got a goal and an assist. It's quite easy to imagine that could happen again. Like, I think so. So, yeah, Neymar's AAA for Brazil. I think that's like built in.
Yeah, what's also crazy is that, so that match was in, let's see, game week 174. So this was 2.5 years ago. And yet the team could be almost identical.
Yeah,
obviously Militao won't play, but like they still, and maybe Ederson in, but like Neymar, Richarlison, Jesus, Paqueta, Casemiro, like these are all guys who are still very much on this team. Marquinhos. Oof, good luck.
Yeah.
Bouncy said check Messi and Mbappe's charts. I will check Messi because he's playing this game week, but I'm going to pretend Mbappe does not exist because he's not playing this game week. I don't want to ruin the Wednesday show.
Yeah.
All right. So Messi, let me take his random subs out. 29 starts, 19 goals, 8 assists with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 100s. I don't know. Which one would you rather, Messi or Mbappe? I mean, Messi or Neymar?
I think the difference there is Messi's done that in the World Cup to the final, his good run, whereas Neymar's doing that in qualification. That's his hot run. There's winning the World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the final. 97 in the final.
And then he has fun qualifying too. It's not. Neymar has way more fun qualifying.
Tommy was saying Paqueta wasn't called up. I wonder if that has to do with that.
Oh,
Those gambling accusations. Weren't those like because of what happened in Brazil, or they came from Brazil? Maybe he doesn't play there. Well, there's Mike Baston. That's right. Just play both.
Play both, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
That's what I plan on doing as soon as I get a Neymar. I'm not really buying a Neymar for this. I don't know what else to say about this game week. Play the cards.
I was going to say, out of that top order there, see that Bodjkan guy, he's a defender. I was going to say you could maybe get 5 out of the best. There's no midfielder for ages. Where's there a midfielder? There we go, Bruno. It's the first midfielder. If you had the top order guys, you would definitely win, wouldn't you? Muric, Neymar, Bruno, Danilo, and Haaland. Oofed. Yeah. That'd be fun.
How much does that cost? Let's find out. Neymar. Haaland. Already sounds expensive. Muric. No. Who's the other one?
Danilo, I think.
Danilo, yep.
Ooh, not many limited to him.
$448.
That's
$250 of which is from Haaland.
$250 from Haaland. That's not bad. Because you're not expecting him to actually like really deliver on that AAA level to the rest of those guys. Like you're really expecting those 3 Brazils to drop in 80 plus, aren't you?
Yeah.
Muric is probably in for a quiet 65. So yeah, if you took Haaland out and got somebody else that's a bit more 100 capable, maybe like Scott McTominay, maybe have a better chance. McSauce. He's only £6. That's a bargain. That's a bargain.
There you go.
Some saving. Some saving on the team.
I don't know how you lose. Yeah. Maybe you have to finish second because the Haaland lineup, maybe he squeaks ahead of McTominay on this game week.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let me see here. Oh, wait, this was the U23 one. If we do take Haaland out, because he's the most expensive, we have this Bjorken. I don't know who he is.
He's new to me too.
Neither I. Frederick Andre. Frederick.
So those wee inflections, I think, they're a nightmare to deal with sometimes.
Does he just not exist? Oh, he exists. Oh, well. This is how you know you're in beta. Swiderski, little trip and B action. I don't know if he...
Will he start that game?
I don't know if he's going to start. Yeah, I don't know. Who is this? Let me see if I can find it. What does he play? Defender? Let's see if we can hack our way into this.
Yeah.
I'll just search Fred. Everyone, man, nothing.
Paulo Harris says Swiderski will start.
Wow.
Against the Faroe Islands, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, Lewandowski's injured. He's out for about a month, so.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So we've got a cheap Lewandowski in. That's nice.
Yeah. A cheap Lewandowski in with Karol Swiderski. That's what we're saying. All right. There you go. $200. And then somebody said, what is the approximate value of winning All-Star? I mean, we don't really know what the prize will be. But let's see. Last midweek. Let's see what the first place prize was. Harry Kane. That's pretty good.
Oofed. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
I mean, even if you
like how you
down,
wanted the top.
even if you got stuck with a Berardi or Matt O'Reilly, and nobody's going to complain about that, right?
No. Did you read that comment from Josh Logan for Poland against the Faroe Islands?
Oof. It was the worst. It was the worst game I ever watched. Did Swiderski play that one? Oh, I like this. Yeah. Lewandowski is just the Polish Swiderski. Except.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's it. What was the cap on that team as well? That was the only other thing I was curious about.
The problem is that Neymar's cap is really high.
But is Muric's decent? Nah, Muric's is stupid
61,
as well.
72, 62, 83, 55. Yeah, you're not fitting anyone here.
Nah, I was hoping Muric's was going to be like 20 or something because he's been on the Burnley bench or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Alas.
I guess it just hasn't been enough games, right?
Yeah, 5-0.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he's got these terrible ones. At least after this game, he'll come back down.
Yeah. For the next one.
Let's see. I don't think we have those. Oh, yeah. So in next month, there you go. Home against Belarus. Surely Muric will be a cap favorite at that point. Actually, the worst thing is if he drops like 100 this week against Andorra. Then you're in trouble.
Nice.
It'll be the worst cap play in the history of cap plays.
Yeah.
We said a lot more about that game week than I thought we were going to, with like
Same.
12 games. Yeah. So we're going to stop there. We're not going to press our luck. So thank you everybody for joining. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to this guy over here. We'll be back on Wednesday for the weekend preview. There are a lot of matches this weekend, and let me just show quickly. Northern Ireland is the top. Just a preview to come. But we're not going to ruin it. You're going to wait till Wednesday to get all that good stuff. So thank you to everybody for joining, and good luck this midweek.